Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Thursday afternoon. Welcome into the Auburn Blitz. I'm Randy Lee alongside my good friend David Jones, and we'll be here with you as we are each and every weekday from 12 to 1. I want to thank all of you for tuning in throughout the state of Alabama on WOTM and radio stations and social media and all of the above. David, glad to be up here with you.
Good to be with you, Randy.
It's not often that you and I get to work together.
Second time, I think.
Second time. Normally, Andy Graham's beautiful face is over there. Looking into the camera, and so the two of us will do our best to fill in for Andy today. He'll be back with you tomorrow. He has a very busy day tomorrow, as you do too, that I see, calling football game tomorrow night. And maybe we'll start there. It's high school football in the state of Alabama. I don't know about you, being an old coach, this is one of my favorite times of the year growing up. Even if your team gets out of it, find you another team to go cheer for. We'll have the scoreboard show tomorrow night, as we have for many, many years. Jeremy Jeffcoat puts that together and produces it and does a very good job for our AHSA Radio Network crew. And you'll be calling Davil tomorrow night. Is that correct, Dave?
That's right, Davil and Thomasville. And I sat down this morning with Coach McDonald for about 20 minutes. He actually had forgot I was coming. He was getting in his truck when I pulled into the Fieldhouse parking lot. He went, "Oh, man." He said, "Man, I got so much going on." But Thomasville and Davil are very similar, Randy. Coach is really worried about Thomasville's front seven on defense. He said, like us, physical. They're in the right place. They fly to the ball. They have some speed. And they run the old double wing T offense at Thomasville. And, you know, Roger runs the I formation a lot. So it's going to be an old-fashioned rock'em sock'em robots kind of a football game. And I expect – I've seen huddle highlights of Thomasville. I just don't think their speed quite matches up to what Roger has at Davil. So, and with the home field advantage, I'm expecting Davil to pull out a win, but I don't think it's going to be easy.
Davil's undefeated on the season. If you're just tuning in throughout the state, they're 10-0, only had 9 regular season games, but off to a 10-0 start. They're as athletic as anybody you're going to see in their classification. I saw them on the basketball court last year, David, and we've got a very good basketball team at Benjamin Russell, and they matched us athlete for athlete. They've got them. Coach McDonald plays a physical brand of football that I think Davil people appreciate. So it'll be a good one. I don't know if Thomasville and Davil have played since
15.
It was a debacle. The last one that I remember.
Caleb sent me the stats this morning, 15, 13, 11, and 10. They met in the playoffs.
Okay.
And Davil has won 3 of those. The semifinal game, Thomasville won. I think that's back in 2010. But, yeah, all of them close. I mean, really close.
A very disappointing loss for Davil in that one. Probably quite possibly the best player in Davil's history was the quarterback that night, and Kyle Caldwell. And Kyle, I actually had Thomasville's coach come up to Brett and myself when we were calling the game, and he said, "I want to tell y'all." He said, it's the best football players ever been on our high school field that we beat the other night. Wow. And I think a lot of things didn't necessarily go the way that the Davil fans had wanted on the road at Thomasville that night. I do remember that very well. But
I mentioned that to Roger.
Yeah.
And, of course, he had to play it off. He said, "Oh, man, I've only been here 3 years. I don't know anything about all that." But those people that are going to be sitting in those bleachers Friday night, they well remember.
They're going to know all about it. But these are 2 of the better programs in the state, and Davil and Thomasville, and have got a lot of history. So that'll be a good one. Any other high school games out there that you plan on attending? Players that you're looking forward to seeing? You know, we're going to talk about this in a couple of segments from now, David, but it feels like Cadillac and this crew's starting to get after it recruiting. If we were to believe the L's that were Auburn recruiting before this crew took the reins, we're getting some new names on here we didn't expect to see, and that's good to see. And so I think that there'll be some Auburn interest out there throughout the state this Friday night, maybe on some names that we haven't seen in the past.
Well, this list, and I know we'll get to it later in the show, that list on the second page of the script, that's unbelievable. I mean, and it just goes to show what wasn't going on as much as needed to be at Auburn.
256-234-6221, and just getting started here on the Thursday edition of the Auburn Blitz. I wanted to get your thoughts. A.D. Cohen had his press conference. From everyone that I'm hearing, very impressed with the way that he handled himself and the things that he talked about during it.
Randy, when he pulled out that piece of paper and said, I have a 58 bullet point checklist that I'll go through with every football coaching candidate. I mean, he's thorough. He's extremely intelligent. If Butch Thompson thinks the world of him, and they work together, I get that. But he flipped the Auburn being Auburn thing in the press conference and said this is Auburn being Auburn, and brought out several positive points about Auburn. And the other thing that I liked that he said, Randy, was, everybody thinks that because I'm Mississippi State. He said, what is a fit at Mississippi State is not a fit at Auburn. So all the stuff about, he's going to bring Leach over, he can't hire coaches, that's baloney. He made some great hires at Mississippi State. The other thing that he said that I was most impressed with, and you as a business person will love this. He said, 20 years ago, I would have rolled in here and I would have just started saying, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. He said, now that I'm older and wiser, he said, I listen a lot. And you got complimented for your listening skills the other day on the show. And that's big with me with my leadership talks. He's going to listen to people and gather all of that intel. But at the end of the day, he's going to make the call, he and Chris Roberts. So I'm fully confident in him. I love the hire.
I do too. I think there's a lot to be said about someone, and I actually had a comment on it in a state agency that I'm on a board with yesterday too, that I didn't do a lot of talking. And I said, well, unless I have something to say, I'm not going to talk. And because I do hope that there are a lot of people that was in there yesterday that call into this program, including you, that have something to say that will teach me something that I didn't know beforehand. So I do think that age seems to help that, doesn't it? You learn a lot as you get older that maybe staying silent at times is the right decision to make.
Well, hearing is a human function for most people. Listening is a skill, Randy, and a lot of people don't have it. And I'm like you. As I get older, the listening, the first thing I do every morning for an hour and a half, I'm in books. I'm reading. I'm watching podcasts and things that will help me, and listening with my ears and with my heart. And that's huge in any endeavor. And the fact that Cohen mentioned that, I just thought that was phenomenal.
Really caught your attention, and I think a lot of the things that he said caught a lot of the Auburn fans' attention. We'll run down a few of those that we have listed here, but your thoughts on his initial press conference? Were you impressed? You got a lot of confidence in him. He's got a humongous hire to be made, and he's going to, if you're reading into it, he's going to have a lot to say on who that hire is. And so you as an Auburn fan, do you feel good about that? Let's quickly go to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
How you doing, guys?
Great, James.
Hey,
Glad
James.
to have you.
Just listening to y'all, I think he did a really good job from what I've read. And my son, let me turn this radio down. I'm sorry, I'm no better than that. Anyway, I think he's going to be a good guy. My son was over at Mississippi State. He got his master's over there. And that man was a baseball coach when he was over there. And he talked about him when he heard his name and when he knew. And he was talking about the very thing y'all were talking about, is attention to detail. And he said that he is just a nice guy. He said he'd speak to you on the campus if he saw you, ask you how you were doing and this, that. No, he got to know him a little bit and thought he was a first-rate fella. And he just, just said that in passing the other day, and I thought, I'm talking about that right now. But, yeah, I'd like to see that list you got, Coach, on that. I would imagine that some of those trees that hadn't been shook got shook and had some things in it besides possums. That sounds like those boys are hitting the road now. Are they able to put any of the analysts out there, or are they going with their analysts that are already there? Trevon Reed keeps coming to my mind because he's been out there 2 or 3 times when they had a vacancy, and he's stirred up that pot every time. It's just something I was thinking of. But I think this is going to be the best thing we've had in a while. And he'll be a good, and I think it's not just football. I think from what I've gathered on him, he'll help with the basketball and the baseball and everything else too. And that's good. Right now, I'm more concerned about our Saturday games, but they're all important to me, and I know they are to you too. And before I go, I want to say this. Okay, what's behind us is behind us. Me and Terry have agreed on the last two things, so I think that we're going to have to start off this next new year right. So I'm gonna try to do that. Now listen, you got a guy up there that works in engineering. I called him today. He said, I saw the station wasn't on. I call him every time I didn't, just to let him know. He said, James is going to be calling me in a minute, so I did. And he said, I just got it on. I looked back. I said, yeah, you're right, it's changed. So he does a good job. I don't know his name, but he's back there right now. And it's the Birmingham station that keeps knocking y'all off air. They don't reboot or whatever it is that they do. But anyway, y'all are the best, and y'all have a good show today, and I'm going to be watching it. So
thank you, James.
Take care, boys. I'm ready for them to get that new coach and get rolling for that, too.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that, James, and we can't thank you enough for keeping them on their P's and Q's up in Birmingham to keep our show on air, and we appreciate you. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Maybe we'll talk about that analyst question, which of those guys may be out on the road helping with the recruiting effort. I totally agree with James. I thought Javon Reed, thank the Lord for him to end the cycle last year. If it wouldn't have been for him, I don't know what we ended up with. But I thought he did a tremendous job in closing. We'll go ahead and close out here, and when we come back, we'll talk about those things on the Auburn Blitz.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
No monthly payments until springtime at Glenn Smith in Opelika. How about a brand new Chevrolet Buick or GMC with no payments till springtime? New Chevy Equinox as low as $359 a month. New Buick Enclaves up to $4,000 off. New GMC Terrains up to $5,000 off.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Phone lines are open the entirety of the program today, 256-234-6221. Got another call holding now. Caller, you on the Auburn Blitz.
Guys, how y'all doing today?
We're great, hey, Terry. Glad to have you.
Good to be with y'all. Yeah, trying to get my TV muted so I could hear y'all, because I know y'all get tired of telling people to cut the TV down. Appreciate the kind words from James. Yeah, let's get the thing started off right. We didn't agree on Harsin eye to eye. I don't think I agree with him on much eye to eye with anybody, quite honestly. So. But what I want to know from you guys is this. Of the coaching candidates, now I really believe it's going to be, Kiffin, Freeze, or Sanders, one of those three, because I don't think Auburn can afford to take a chance on him. But which coach gives them the best chance to keep Cadillac on staff, and what do you think his position would be?
Gosh, look, Terry, we just had 2 conversations during the break, and you called in, and within 15 seconds you said the same thing we were talking about.
That's right.
That's a good question. I think any of the 3, at least I'm going to say what David just said, any of the 3 that doesn't see the value of Cadillac and what he has done during this little stretch is missing the boat. It's not that we think the Cadillac's going to be the head coach, by no means. My gosh, he has earned the right to be part of the staff, and part of the staff for a very long time with a chance to, at some point in time, be the head coach at Auburn University or somewhere big like that. I think Cadillac will become that one day. So that's my answer. With the coach that I'm going to keep saying that I hope it is Deion Sanders. I don't think you can pay for the marketing and advertising and recruiting that man's going to do, and he's got all the connections in the world to put one heck of a staff together if he's got the money to pay those staff members that he would be able to hire there at Auburn. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm not moving away from it.
Coach David, do you feel the same?
Yeah, Terry, here's the way it works. I do feel the same. Normally when these guys come in, they're supposed to be given carte blanche on their staff. What they'll do is interview the guys that are on the current staff that they feel would fit on their staff and go from there. And I don't think any of those 3 guys would be stupid enough, I'm just going to say it, to send Cadillac Williams packing. I just don't see it. And
it's going to be a long line of people waiting to get him.
Man, I don't see it, because he's Auburn. The Auburn people love him. I just watched a video this morning, a 5-minute video about him and the dream coming true and all of that. So I'm with Randy, and I think I'm probably with you too. I think there's a 100% chance that Cadillac Williams will stay on at Auburn, regardless of who the new football coach is.
But do you guys mind if I ask y'all a quick high school question?
Yes, love to talk
I
about
know
it.
y'all do a little high school work. My old high school, Pennsylvania, are they in the playoffs, and who are they playing?
They were in the playoffs, and they got beat pretty handily on Friday to Mountain Brook last week. I think the final score is 49-7. So watch out 6A football when it comes to Mountain Brook.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they have a football and basketball both.
Yes, they got a.
Y'all have a great day.
Yeah, thank you.
Terry.
Pinson Valley has won 3 state championships in football in the last decade. They won 2 of those with Bo Nix at quarterback, and then they went on, and I think Sam Shade moved to the head coach, and they won another state championship with Kool-Aid McKinstry as Mr. Football here in the state of Alabama. And my friend, they can coach them up in basketball as well as anybody. Coach Barber, that's moved over from midfields, the head basketball coach at Pinson Valley.
I didn't know that.
He does an outstanding job. He's one of the top high school coaches in the entire state. Really have appreciated watching the way that he handles himself and his teams and the way that they play over the last 16 years of me calling championship basketball over in Birmingham. So they got one of the best coaches in the state, and I think they'll be right there at the end of it. But back to, the question we had, which coach, though? I said Deion. Which one do you think is at the top of your list right now?
Top of my list, or who I think it's going to be?
Go with both. Give me both answers.
I want to say Deion, but I'm going to go with Lane Kiffin on both of them. I know that Lane Kiffin. First of all, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, the discrepancies in our roster versus some other top-level SEC rosters. Let's just be honest, Randy. Okay, Lane Kiffin would flip that roster almost immediately with the portal and guys wanting to gravitate. And I think there's a lot of our guys in the portal
that would come back
that are just sitting there waiting to see who it is. And I think any of those 3 guys, they'd come back, especially if it's Deion and Lane Kiffin. Freeze might be the best candidate of the 3 as far as getting wins and beating folks that we want to beat and that kind of thing. But everybody wants to beat Alabama. I get that. I'm not into just that. I'm into bringing the right guy in that's going to do things the right way, get this fan base back behind Auburn, get players in there, develop people, and Deion definitely can do that. I mean, he's just. But end of the day, I think it's going to be Lane Kiffin.
End of the day, I'd take any of the 3. Absolutely. I bought into it. Yeah. I've probably sat up here at times and said, no, please, no Hugh Freeze, no, please, no Lane Kiffin. The further I get down the road, I'd take either one of them, but I am going to not waver and stick with my Deion hopes until those hopes are faded.
See, I did the same thing with Deion. I said, it can't be Deion. The primetime shtick and all of that, it ain't going to be a fit. Look, it's a different day and time, Randy. I'm old school.
Yeah.
Okay? But these players today, they look at things a little bit differently than players did 20 years ago. Deion Sanders steps on the campus at Auburn University. Every 5-star in the country is going to want to play for him. And the resources that we have that Deion could make use of, it just, I don't even have the words to describe how unbelievable that would be. So I'm like you. I'm good with all 3, but I think I'd be a little more excited about Deion or Lane right now.
256-234-6221. Cohen talked a lot about facilities. Dave, we got a couple more minutes here on this segment. Your thoughts on facilities? Are we way behind in certain areas? And I can come back to you, but quickly, maybe a quick thought on that.
We definitely are not going to be way behind as far as football training facilities when they turn that key on that new building. And by the way, they're doing tours tomorrow, by the way.
You going to make your way over?
I'm not. Okay. I'm not. But, yeah, I said this to Randy last year in the spring. I said, Jordan-Hare Stadium needs to be pressure washed. I mean, we definitely need to make some improvements in our stadium for sure. It's just not bright, shining, clean like it used to be. And I don't know what the answer to all of that is. But in baseball, we're on the way, so. But he's got a plan. And he hadn't divulged all of it yet, but I can't wait to hear it.
256-234-6221. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, their compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new, convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Halfway through the show, David run us down some comments that we've gotten on social media out there, and find us on social media and comment away.
Absolutely. John Paul wanted to know where Super 7 is. It's Auburn this year. And Wes Blatt, our resident Bulldog, says if Auburn beats A&M, do you think that $87 million buyout is going to happen? Lane to Auburn. He can't wait for Lane to come to Auburn. He don't want to deal with him anymore over there in Mississippi. Have a great day, guys. John, no, I didn't sleep in my car. I wore the same shirt on 2 different shows the other day.
Yeah.
John said I looked like I slept in my car, and he hurt my feelings. But he says I look clean-shaven today, and changing shirts does a man wonders. Thank you, John Dent. I appreciate you. Luke answered all those questions. He said no to the buyout because it's not just Jimbo. It's assistant coaches and everything that goes along with that, getting the new guy. Wes Blatt said Texas A&M can write a check, no problem. Now saying that Hugh Freeze will be the first phone call. I hate it that Lane and Freeze are in the West. That's what happens when you play in the conference and division. So, you know, hey, we'll see what happens with all of that. But, yeah, we are looking forward to Super 7. in Jordan-Hare Stadium this year.
Yeah, it's a great venue to hold it, and the back and forth between Jordan-Hare and Bryant-Denny has always really intrigued us and the fans and the support, and it feels like the families really get a kick out of it. But now I've added Birmingham in the mix.
Protective Life, yeah.
Wow, what a beautiful facility that UAB and the city of Birmingham has now. And I must tip my hat to the leadership over in Birmingham. You know, some of the things that we thought would never happen, just be talked about, seems to be happening now. And, you know, we'll see.
And the Barons Baseball Stadium over on the south side, absolutely gorgeous.
All the
Railroad Park
restaurants,
and
all the entertainment around that's been built up. You know, I must say, I lived in Birmingham 20-plus years ago, and it doesn't look like anything like it does now. So
great job.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they really have. So we've got a lot of official visitors coming in this weekend for Auburn versus Texas A&M, and some of these names I've seen on lists before, but many of them I haven't. So we'll run down some. The official visitors this weekend: wide receiver DeQuavius Sorey from Chipley, Florida. He is an AU commit, 4-star. Stanquan Clark from Miami is a Louisville commit. He's also a 4-star. Linebacker Brian Longwell from Nashville, Tennessee, a 3-star, will be in for an official visit. Offensive lineman Clay Whedon, he's an AU commit, good pickup for Auburn. From Tampa, Florida. 2 more in on their official visits this weekend: cornerback Edwin Joseph from Hollywood, Florida, and Lamar Seymour from Miami, who is a Pitt commit, a 3-star wide receiver. A lot of unofficial visitors for the 2023 class, many that have been on campus before. Many 2024 unofficial visitors will be on campus. Looks like 20-plus for each of those.
First 2 names, man.
The first 2 names are the ones that we're hoping that whoever ends up at Auburn can close the deal on both of those, and that's James Smith and Quay Russaw.
Yep, absolutely. And I would like to see the call log in the Auburn football building in the last week and a half compared to the last 3 or 4 weeks before that. I bet the phones are smoking.
Yeah, I bet Cadillac is not sleeping a wink and staying after it, not only in recruiting but also coaching out there. Other names of interest, I think, Tony Mitchell from Thompson. He's an Alabama commit. He'll be in Auburn this weekend. Bo Hughley from Fairburn, Georgia, a Georgia commit, 4-star offensive tackle, will be in Auburn this weekend. Reuben Bain from Miami, Florida, edge rusher. Jelani Thurman, Fairburn, Georgia, Ohio State commit in Auburn this weekend. Lewis Carter from Tampa, Florida, Oklahoma commit. Hey, you like to look down this list and see Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, all of them with commits that are showing up to Auburn to at least give us another look and give this current staff, which is partly a new staff in leadership role, a chance to pitch whoever this next staff's going to be. I think it's a good thing.
We're not backing off from anybody. Absolutely not. And, Randy, the other thing that catches my eye, and here's the thing. Y'all know how I feel about the stars. I'd take a 3-star that's a quality kid that works his tail off over a 4-star prima donna any day of the week. But look at all the 5 and 4 stars on this list. It's unbelievable the quality of kid that we're – and believe me, Carnell and them are doing their homework on the kid. You know, you can't afford this day and time to just bring anybody in there. You know, I was always interested in how a recruit treated his little brother and sister and his mama and his teachers, and did he sit in front of the classroom, how his attitude and his grades. I promise you the programs that are doing their due diligence are looking into all of those things under every rug that they can with these kids. And the fact that they are 4 and 5-star, I mean, that's impressive right there.
50-plus?
Yeah.
In Auburn this weekend for the game.
How about that?
Hey, that's positive. And many of them are new faces, and hopefully the expectations are that Auburn can close the gap, which is widened the last 3 or 4 weeks, I would guess, can close the gap on some of these. And David, keep committed the ones that we need to keep committed. That's going to be part of the battle here. We've got, 11 commits right now, and 5 or 6 of them other people want.
But none of them have
they haven't flipped so
flown
far.
the coop. No, that speaks volumes. John Dent just said a big-time linebacker at A&M went into the portal yesterday. So And they're missing some players. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say, Randy. Not only do we have 50-plus commits coming in Saturday. Now, you've been in Jordan-Hare Stadium. I've been in Jordan-Hare Stadium a lot. I'll never forget that Florida game when my son was on his official visit for baseball, that crazy Florida game in 2006. But Saturday night in Jordan-Hare Stadium, I'll put that environment we're going to experience Saturday night up against anything we've seen other than maybe some Iron Bowls in enthusiasm, passion, people coming back supporting Carnell and the kids. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous, and those recruits are going to be blown away by what they experience Saturday night.
Hopefully we win the football game.
That would help.
That would help if you can keep the party going. And, I was just glad to let the apathy go away with the game this past Saturday. I actually enjoyed watching Auburn play football. Yeah. And it's been a while since I've enjoyed watching Auburn play football, David, because it hasn't resembled a team that you or I or any of us could really get behind. Yeah. It's not necessarily terrible effort. It's just terrible passion. I will give it that. You haven't felt the passion out there on the field in a while.
Well, that was the thing. My wife and I lived so far away from Auburn for so many years, the last 21 years down on the Gulf Coast till we moved here. When we bought season football tickets, man, we get up on Saturday morning, put our gear on. We can't wait to get into Auburn, to experience all that Auburn is on a football Saturday. But that element, especially the last two games of the Harsin era, it was dead as a doornail in that play, and you could feel it. I don't think we have to worry about that anymore.
It won't be that way this Saturday. It'll be one that you'd want to attend, and I'll look forward to watching. I won't be in attendance, but I will be looking forward to watching. We'll take your phone calls after this, 256-234-6221.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin-lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Hey, this is Doug Roberts, long-term resident of Alexander City. I sold my house with Century 21 Lake Area Realty because all my life I had heard that to sell a house you need 3 things: location, location, location. I found out there's actually 4. You need location, 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 and Rhonda Gaskins at Century 21 Lake Area Realty to sell your house fast.
Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
2 nights, 1 weekend at ATL Live. Friday, November 11th, his first concert ever at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Billy Joel. With Lionel Richie and Sheryl Crow. And Saturday, November 12th, 8-time Grammy winner Chris Stapleton with Miranda Lambert, Dwight Yoakam, and more. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss ATL Live, powered by Ticketmaster.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, Brubaker, Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Back to the phone lines we go, David. Ken, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Yes, sir. I want to say, yes, Randy, David, I sure appreciate the opportunity to be on the, and let you know that my wife and I are great and have been for years and years, die-hard Auburn fans. And we've been praying for what's happening down there in the Auburn coaching pick. And we love what's happening down there with the Cadillac. He's got something special. He's working from his heart. And it's something we need. And things is moving in the right direction. And we love that pick with John Cohen as athletic director. He seems like a level-headed man with a lot of wisdom, and I hope he uses it with them 58 points that he goes through on his pick for the coach. But my granddaughter, she's a sophomore down there at Auburn. She's taking engineering, and I'm thinking about her and all the other, not just football fans, but all the students down there. When we pick a coach for, we want one that's a Christian man and not a man that's got a lot of baggage behind him. And I can say his name, but I think you know who I'm talking about. His name is Hugh Freeze. And he may be a good man and bring a lot of, he may even give us a national championship. But what good would a national championship be if you lose your soul in doing it? So we're thinking he's not a good role model, and he wouldn't be. And I hope the pick is a good one, and they think about what's the well-being for our kids.
Well, Ken, the only thing that I can say about that in response to your Hugh Freeze comment, especially me being a man of faith as well, that was a one-time thing that Hugh Freeze, devil got a hold of him, and he has asked for forgiveness from his God. His family and he are back together and doing very strongly. He has mentors in his life now that are helping him get back where he needs to be. I think that factors into this as well. So I can't go with you completely. Yes, I was really disappointed in Hugh. But
I understand that. I believe in giving a man a second chance. But what's really important is the well-being of our kids and the football players that be working around him. We want him to be a good influence on them, and also the rest of the Auburn fans. My wife, she said if Hugh Freeze is there, she would never be an Auburn fan in football again until he left. So that might be a bad thing to say, but when you feel, I think what's happening now with Cadillac being down there as interim coach, I think he's energizing the whole system.
Absolutely.
He's giving life to the fans, and he's got something that we hadn't had for a long, long time. And I sure appreciate it, and I appreciate you, David, and Randy, and we missing Andy today, and we love what y'all done for Auburn. War Eagle.
War Eagle, thank you, Ken. We appreciate the phone call.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that, man.
A lot of what Ken says is the sentiment that I get talking to some Auburn people, and it's not that we don't want to give a man a second chance. I think many people would like to see him have a second chance, but it's understandable to question some of the decisions that have been made by Hugh, and I'm not sure that he's going to get a pass for it. We'll see. We'll see if that becomes important in the decision-making process, but I still will say what I said a couple of segments ago. I don't think we go outside of those three. I think it's going to be Lane Kiffin, Hugh Freeze, or Deion Sanders.
I agree with you, and to piggyback off of Ken's, and I appreciate that sentiment. You know, I know that sometimes and it's a shame, these guys are such in the public eye. You can't do anything wrong, but when you go and do something that he did, I admire him for admitting that he was wrong, asking forgiveness, and getting back on the straight and narrow. But forgiveness and forgetfulness are two different things.
That's right. So it'd be interesting to see how that's played out
right.
currently. Caller, you on the Auburn Blitz? Yes, you're on the air. Is this James?
Yes.
Yeah, you're on the air,
ahead,
James.
Okay, I was going to set it up. Yes.
Just turn your television and radio down, and you can talk to us, James.
I just wanted to say that Auburn can't get no good head coach down there because the Roosters run Auburn. Give them a blank check and get you a good coach.
Thank you, James. We appreciate the phone call. I think many think that way, too. You know, they wonder whoever is going to get the head coaching job, will they turn the reins over to them? That's always been the question around Auburn. I don't have a good answer for it, but if there's ever a time, look, I'm hoping we've reached the basement.
I'm going to touch on that when we get back.
I hope we have reached the basement. Sometimes you've got to go to your bottom to come back up.
That's exactly right.
And Lord help, I hope that we've hit the bottom at Auburn and we're on our way back up. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
Hey guys, this is Nate Paz with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
David, with your baseball background, Coach Cohen, thoughts about him? What's the sentiment of the baseball coaching front on him, not only as a leader, as a baseball coach maybe?
Well, he was phenomenal. You know, he was at Kentucky and Mississippi State. Butch was his pitching coach, I believe, at Mississippi State. And did they win a national championship, I think?
They went to the championship and lost to UCLA.
That's right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and so, yeah, from a baseball standpoint, but I harken back to our earlier conversation about him and the leadership and the wisdom. He just seems to be a guy that has continued to develop into exactly what we need at Auburn. Plus, he's been at, 4 other SEC schools?
Has.
You know, and obviously Butch is thrilled. You know, this, I saw a drawing too, Randy, of the new projects for the Plainsman Park. You know, the seats above the hitting lab, the premium seats down first base, that's phase 1. Phase 2 is going to be the seats above the Green Monster. But I can promise you he's going to expedite that. And, you know, I'm excited obviously for baseball, but I'm just excited, I think, for equestrian and gymnastics and swimming and diving. You know, he's got some swimming and diving in his family. I just think he's exactly what we need in totality. But we know where the drink's stirred, right?
Yeah, we got to get that Saturday.
Yep.
Football
like James
season.
said, the Saturday game.
We got to get it figured out, don't we? Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, you on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey again, guys. How y'all doing?
Good, Terry.
Hey, Terry.
Hey guys, I just had to call back up and say that previous gentleman that called. Look, I've got nothing against it. That's the right thing to say, the forgiveness thing. But Auburn is forgiveness you. People forget about Cam Newton and Mick Marshall and Bruce Pearl, guys. All had to be forgiven for things that happened in the past. So keep that in mind when you make statements like that.
Well, yeah, Terry, I totally agree. You know, sometimes as people of faith and Christians, we We talk about walking a straight and narrow path, but when somebody doesn't, we're quick to judge and say, well, I'm not going to support you anymore. It's a fine line to walk, brother, and I'm not one to judge at all. And you're right. I mean, life's about how you respond to mistakes and sins in difficult times. And I just think that Hugh Freeze has done an excellent job of coming out of that dark place he was in.
Now, Coach David, as I said, if God can forgive him and his wife can forgive him, we certainly can.
There you go. Absolutely.
Next time you meet the perfect person, please let us all know. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Terry. We appreciate the phone call. I do wonder, and I'll kind of agree with the caller, though, does that sit in the back of the decision-maker's mind enough to want the other two before him?
I think that would totally depend, Randy, on the deep conversations that they'll have with this man.
Yep.
And I think they'll say, wasn't crazy about what I heard, still afraid to pull the trigger, or this guy's completely turned it around. He'll never go back there again. He's exactly what we need.
I will say this. I think that all three, and I may end up being wrong by that, but I think all three, the one that we actually go full bore after, we can get them. I don't have a sense that any of the three would turn Auburn down. Do you?
I wonder what Deion's thinking, because he says he wants to continue to push and elevate HBCU. But at the same time, he also said, if a Power 5 calls, I have to listen.
Yep.
So we better be one of the first ones to call him.
I hope we are. I already said that.
If somebody else beats us to it, we might miss out on that.
There's just no part of me that doesn't believe in, and he did say this, that he's got to take care of the assistants that are working with him that have put their trust in him. And, you know, he's making $500,000 a year, but Deion's one of the more marketable athletes of our entire generation. He's in probably the top 5 in endorsement deals, I would guess. So whatever you're paying him to be the coach, he's probably making twice that in endorsement deals when you look and see what Charles Barkley's about to make and others are making. So I don't think he's necessarily as concerned about himself as the people that actually stick with him and are planning to hang with him. And I think that anybody in those Power 5, especially Auburn, knows that they better take care of those assistants he brings in too.
Absolutely. Well, I will say this, Randy. I would think that he would need to bring a good nucleus of his Jackson State staff, not the entire staff, because we've got to have some Auburn guys on staff, Zach, maybe Jimmy, certainly Carnell, and then 2 or 3 positions. I mean, bring in dogs, all-stars, and build the most unbelievable coaching staff that you can build. I think that would be the way to go, and I hope that Deion would be willing to do that. But I said this to Andy when we first started talking about, can you imagine the commercials with Prime and Pearl, P-Square? The energy would be off the chart.
And some, you know, we had questions like, why are you bringing up, that's how little you know about recruiting. We had comments out there when I said, could you imagine the two of them on the recruiting trail together? And if you think the two of them wouldn't work hand in hand on NIL, money that you can generate for the university, which could go out to not only football but basketball recruits. If you don't think they'd be working hand in hand, then I'll say it back to you. You don't know what you're talking about.
What you're talking about. And Randy, check this out. We had $13 million in the NIL when Harsin was fired. I promise you that number is continuing to grow now, and we don't even have a coach yet. And that is Lane's big boogaboo with Ole Miss. They're not raising the NIL money. He's frustrated with that. We double that 13. The sky's the limit, whoever the guy is, of those 3.
And for those that are just tuning in, you said you think that it's going to be Lane.
I do.
That's your feel.
That's my feel.
Okay.
From my intel.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm the more feeling that I get from the Auburn faithful out there, I think that they would be perfectly fine with that. And the way he flipped that roster around using the transfer portal, I must say, is very impressive at Ole Miss.
Absolutely. And he'd do that at all.
Your thoughts on Saturday before I go, because I won't be back up here this
We're going to win. Hadn't got a score in my mind yet. I still got to pray on that, but Auburn Tigers are going to win Saturday.
it's going to be an environment. We know a lot of you will be out there, and a lot of our faithful will be out there as well. So for David Jones saying thanks for tuning in to the Auburn Blitz.